Let's come up with some ideas for sequels to Pixar movies. Oh, I love this.
To infinity and beyond!
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you like pop culture videos and want to see more of my content, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into today's video. Okay, if you like watching my channel regularly, you would have noticed that I did a video recently about how I think Pixar is about to make a lot of sequels. And my theory comes off the back of the success of Inside Out 2, one of the most financially successful Pixar movies in recent memory. I'm not going to go too much on about it, but go and watch that video on my channel, put it in your watch later playlist or whatever. But I wanted to do something more creative today and pitch 3 ideas to you of Pixar sequels I think we could see and what I would do if I was like the creative director of Pixar. So in this video, I'm going to pitch 3 Pixar sequels, and I want you to comment your favorite one in the comments below. Plus, as well as that, comment what you would do if you could make a sequel to any Pixar movie. And if you like this video, I might do a part 2, so let me know, I guess. So idea number 1 is Toy Story 5. Now this movie is actually already confirmed to be happening, but I have an idea for a Toy Story sequel that I would definitely like to see. And I have complained a lot about Toy Story 4 existing, let alone Toy Story 5, because Toy Story 3 was amazing, by the way.
So long, partner.
But if it has to happen, this is what I would do for a Toy Story sequel today. Toy Story 3 jumped into the future in real time of Andy's age. So basically in the original movies, he was like 8 or 9 years old, and then 10 years later when Toy Story 3 came out, he was heading off to college. Now it's been nearly 15 years since Toy Story 3 came out, and I would love to see a similar age gap to Andy. Say he's like 30 to 35 years old now, and he's about to have his own child. What I would love to see from this is a focus on Andy trying to reunite all of his old toys after remembering the fun he had with them when he was a kid. At the end of Toy Story 4, Woody joins Bo Peep and goes his separate ways to Buzz and the rest of Andy's original toys. And I'd love to see Andy working his way backwards. At first, he'd go back to Bonnie, who's now grown up as well, and she might mention that she gave the toys away to another kid. Slowly, I think we would unravel this story of what happened to the toys, and when Andy finally finds, say, Buzz, Slinky, Potato Head, Ham, and a bunch of the others, he realizes that Woody is no longer with them. And so then he has to track down Woody, but just can't find him anywhere. Buzz and the rest of the crew then realize they need to find Woody in order to bring him back. And I'm sure there would be like a lot of emotional beats and flashbacks along the way, but eventually Buzz finds Woody somewhere, I don't know where he's ended up, and they are all reunited. And the movie ends with Andy's child being born and him passing down the toys to that child. And I would also love a confirmation of the popular fan theory that Woody originally belonged to Andy's father. Then the toys are kind of reunited with Andy again in the sense that they now belong to his son. Idea number 2.
Nothing's coming out of your closet to scare you anymore, right? Yeah.
I would absolutely want to see a sequel to Monsters, Inc. I thought Monsters University was a really fun prequel movie, but I really always wanted to get a continuation of the original story. And I have the best storyline in mind for this already. Due to some cataclysmic event, Mike and Sully accidentally find themselves stuck in the human world. Pretty much the opposite of what happened in Monsters, Inc. For whatever reason, which I'll develop later, they can't seem to find their way out of the human world and can't get back. So they remember Boo, the human girl from the original movie, and decide that tracking her down might not be a bad place to start. Of course, now, due to the time gap, Boo is a 24-year-old college student who kind of remembers these weird experiences she had as a child with these monsters, but has kind of put them to the back of her mind because they're too difficult for her to understand. When Mike and Sully finally find Boo, she is terrified because part of her was convinced it was all imaginary, but suddenly it's real in front of her eyes. And I think the movie would be really good if it dealt with like repressed childhood memories and experiences from childhood that we don't really deal with. And maybe Mike and Sully's appearance in Boo's childhood can be a metaphor for that kind of trauma. And eventually she comes around and Sully and Boo finally get to reunite after all of these years. And comedy ensues as she tries to hide them in human clothing and stuff like that. Basically what they did for her in the monster world. And eventually she manages to get them back to the monster world, but similar to the original movie, they have to close the door for good and say goodbye again. It's perfect. Monsters Inc. 2. And my third and final Pixar movie actually isn't a sequel, but a prequel, because I would do a prequel to The Incredibles.
A simple thank you will suffice.
Thanks, but I don't need any help.
I think there is a goldmine of content to source from here, and if I was titling it, I'd probably call it Rise of the Incredibles, or even just Mr. Incredible, or Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl. I think it would be great if this movie went back to the golden age of superheroes that we see at the beginning of the original Incredibles movie.
Thank you, Mr. Incredible. You've done it again.
Yeah, you're the best.
No, I'm just here to help.
And just is kind of like just a normal superhero movie starring Mr. Incredible and some kind of supervillain. There could be so many references to the original movie as well, with all the superheroes that are mentioned but never seen on screen. Edna Mode could pop up as well, and it could just be so fun.
Oh my God, you've gotten fat. Come in, come.
I think it would be also great to see how Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl meet and watch them team up together in the final battle. You could even have cameos from Buddy, aka Syndrome, as a kid who was in the Mr. Incredible fan club, and I think that could be great as well. And maybe the emotional core of the movie as well could be Mr. Incredible having to overcome his own arrogance and individualist kind of nature and work with Elastigirl.
Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
Oui, et cette nuit est complètement ridicule.
But there you have it. Those are 3 ideas for Pixar sequels or prequels that I would love to see. And if you like this video, I would be so keen to do a part 2. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and support me on Patreon, patreon.com/RadioMike. Leave a comment. Which one of those did you like most, and what movie would you most like to see a sequel to in the Pixar catalog? Plus, I have a bunch of other videos on my channel right now that you can watch, so go and check them out. And that's pretty much it. My name's Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind. I'll catch you later.